Good morning, class, and happy Memorial Day. I want to thank all of those in our class who have served or are currently serving. We really appreciate it. So with that said, I know that this is a holiday, and I appreciate you all getting in your assignments from last week tonight by midnight. So as you can probably tell, I have a terrible sinus infection, but I am all caught up on your grading, and you all are doing a really great job so far with the course. So with that said, I want to run through a couple things just to make sure that we're all on the same page for this week and moving forward in the class. So the second thing I want to talk about are the announcements. As you'll see on your homepage, I've posted several different announcements, I think 5 in total. And I post these about every day just to check in on what's happening, new things that may be occurring in the class, things like the textbook, when that happened. And so this is really a way to check in with you so that we can be on the same page moving forward in the class. So if you would, please make sure to read those announcements when they are posted so that we can line up in this course. The third thing I'd like to talk about today is the class structure. It seems like you all are doing a really great job at understanding now what the class structure is. And I know that takes a while to get used to, especially if this is your first online course. And so pretty much it's simple. Every day that you have a COTAC chapter, you provide 2 of the critical reading questions, you provide 5 definitions, and then you do your student questions. You write 3 student questions, and then you answer 2 of the questions from other students. And so this is how it will continue for the rest of the semester. So every time you're reading a COTAC chapter for that day, you'll know you need to do those 3 things. And you all are doing a great job on that. But the thing is that when you do your reading, it really does require active participation. So this last week was different because of the debacle with the book, in that you had extra time to kind of, catch up. But we really will, I'm hoping starting next week, you'll read a chapter of COTAC, and then you'll post that evening or that morning, whichever works best for your schedule, so that we can get on that kind of day schedule and active participation every day. Excuse me. The next thing I want to talk about is the book. So I ordered our book in January, and then I followed up with them more than a month ago to make sure they had the right book. And it turns out that they had the wrong ISBN number, and they thought that since this was a cultural anthropology book, and not anthropology writ large, that I must want the cultural anthropology book by COTAC. And this was not the case, as there are 4 chapters from the other COTAC book, which I think are really important for you all to read and for you all to engage in cultural anthropology. And so that's why I chose that book. So with that said, there are 4 chapters that you don't have in your book if you have it from the bookstore. And I will be providing those chapters via PDF for you all when those chapters come up. So you don't have to worry about that now. And then I also appreciate the students, Josh and Kristen, wrote me and said, here's the chapters that correspond this week with the bookstore book. And so what I want you to do is just take a look at your syllabus, look at the title, the theme and the assignment. So the theme and the assignment title from that day corresponds with a chapter in COTAC. Read that title, read that chapter. Even if your chapter numbers are off, if it says making a living in your book and that chapter corresponds with that, read that chapter. And if you have any other questions, you can feel free to email me, or even text, start a discussion, start an announcement, just so you can make sure you're on the same page. But, for example, May 30th, you're supposed to read the chapter on gender. In your COTAC book, find the chapter on gender and read that one. So hopefully that's straightforward enough so that you're reading the right chapters. And if you have any other questions on that, please feel free to email me. Now I'd like to discuss grading. Up to this point, I'm done grading. You all are doing a really great job so far, engaging with the material, showing me that you're reading the material, and I really appreciate that. And so I want to talk about a couple things. Tonight, May 28th at midnight, all of your assignments from last week are due tonight by midnight. So if you don't have them in, you'll be assigned a late penalty or a 0 as we move forward in the week. The assignments for this week, I'm going to post after this video, and I'll be giving you until Friday to complete those assignments. Now, normally I'm hoping we can get into the rhythm of having a chapter a day, you posting that evening, I grade that evening, and then that's how the class moves. However, we haven't gotten into that rhythm yet, which is totally fine. So I'll be giving you this week's assignments until June 1st to complete those. So I hope that gives you a little bit of extra time. And also with the holiday today, and then with you finishing your assignments from last week, I wanted to give you a bit of extra time to make sure you're not missing points just for missing points. But I'm actually really excited with how engaging you are with the material. And so when I see that, it helps me want to give you extra time as well. So thank you. So you may have noticed that this is the next thing I want to talk about, that there is a writing assignment, excuse me, there's a writing assignment that I posted earlier this week. Now this writing assignment is worth 115 points. So I wanted to post it early so that you all can be thinking about it and working on it, because it is due by midnight on June 3rd. And so I was going to show a film this coming Friday, and I'm not going to do that because I want to give you extra time to work on your writing assignment. And since you'll also be working on the assignments from this week and getting caught up, I figured you could use the extra time. So there won't be a film this Friday. Instead, you can work on your writing assignment, which is due June 3rd by midnight. Now, one final thing. I'm really excited to see all of your engagement on the student questions. And what I was hoping for is that they'd be thoughtful enough and engaging enough that I'd be able to pull from these for your exam. And they are. And so I want you to know that with the student questions, I'll be pulling directly from you all for your exam for those short answers. And so your exam is not coming up for a while. It'll be due June 10th at midnight, so we have some time. Don't worry. But I'll be pulling directly from those student questions for those short answers. So thank you again for taking your time on those. And so your exam, I always get a lot of questions about what the exam is going to look like. There will be multiple choice, there will be matching, and there will be short answer. And I'll be giving you an hour to complete that exam. And so for that hour, you'll need to be in a place that has really great internet so that you can open the test, download it, complete it, and then turn it back in. And I know that, I would prefer for you not to use the book. This is a closed book test, and really it'll only be an hour long. And it really does get at the heart of whether or not you understand the issues in the COTAC chapter and in your external readings. And so really it will test you. You won't have enough time to look in the textbook. So I'm hoping that you'll choose not to use your textbook for the exam. So with that said, I want to thank you all again for a great first week of class. I know we had some road bumps, and that's just par for the course. Excuse me. I am going to triple check with the bookstore before I order my book for the class. And I know that you'll really enjoy these 4 extra chapters because it really does connect you with anthropology more and engage you more with these really important issues. So with that said, I want to thank you again for your participation in the course. Feel free to email me at any point. I've been trying to get back to you as soon as possible. Do keep in mind that, much like all the rest of you, I do have an 8 to 5, and so I'm grading in the morning, grading at night, looking at your posts, in the evenings, and so I've really appreciated being able to do that. But again, email me anytime, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you so much, and hope you have a great Memorial Day and great rest of your week.